I'm asked often, Colin, how and when is the best time to close? In other words, I'm asked two questions in one question. And I think at the heart of that is the asker of the question is saying to me is, tell me everything and anything that would help me close better. Or I'm open to any suggestions because I'm just not as effective as I'd like to be with my closes in my sales calls or in any component of my life, whether it be negotiating a car price down, etc. And so, three things to consider. The first one is any time is the right time to close, as long as it's done in a way that is comfortable to you or that is indicative of your personality. In other words, if you're trying to close like someone else, then you'll probably find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, or the person you're trying to close will recognize that you are uncomfortable doing that. So, number one, every time is the right time to close as long as it's coming from the heart. In other words, it's indicative of your personality. Second thought with closing is the how questions are critically important to getting actual closes done. In other words, most people think a close sounds something like, can you give me business or will you give me business or will you do this? What I would suggest the best closes are something different. They're asking questions and specifically how questions. How would you use this? How would you take the next steps? How would you implement this? Those how questions are probably the most effective way to gain closure in today's world where we're a bit distanced from each other and also in today's world with excess information. In other words, people have already done a lot of the decision making prior to getting into the conversation with us. So the how questions are really, really effective. The third thought is this one is lots of times in the close process, someone will offer you a non-committal response. That sounds good, or I'll take a look at it, give us some time. Those things are what the responses are. So the last piece of the effectiveness with this closing is be aware that when you offer your close, the most likely response is going to be someone trying to future you, push you to a later date. It looks good. Let us take some time to review it. Your job at that time is to say, can you be more specific? Can you tell me what that looks like? How can I be most accurate or effective with my follow through? So in order to be really, really successful with your closing is one is do it a lot. Make sure it comes from the heart. Two is ask questions. Don't necessarily offer that uncomfortable, hard close. Ask questions, let them tell you how to do it. And three is be aware of the non-committal acceptance of your close. So you feel good about making a close, but you got the response that wasn't indicative of the thing happening that you wanted to have happen. So offer that last and impactful thing is, okay, I appreciate you asking me to push it off for a little bit. What best to do next? What are the next steps to take from here? If you ask, they will tell you. Great selling, everybody.